Today we're thrilled and we're going to get started. And we've all already made friends, so this is fantastic. Just a heads up, we're recording the podcast. It's not going outwardly through a speaker to you, just in case you're like, I can't hear what's happening on the microphone. I'm Susie Vailson, and I'm the founder of Wealth Collective, and we work with hotels and properties across the country and cities to create wellness experiences. And our whole goal, our mission as a company, is to end the epidemic of loneliness in the world. We believe that loneliness creates depression, which creates all illness. So things like this, our purpose here is to just gather people. So say hi to somebody you don't know and make a friend. And thanks so much for being here. We are super thrilled to partner with Ayesha and Coffee and a Good Vibe for today here at EHP Resort. EHP opened again after renovations last year, and so did CC, and it's obviously such a beautiful environment, and we're very grateful to be able to do this and to have all of you here. We also are excited, I see a lot of you drinking it right now, to have Ayesha Accelerator giving us the ability to have today. And Ayesha is a better for you energy drink, and it's all plant-based. It's made with yerba mate and green coffee leaf, and so you can feel good drinking it, and it's delicious. Some of y'all are trying it. It only has 150 milligrams of caffeine, so you're not gonna get like as wired as if you're drinking like a crazy energy drink. So Lay is here from Ayesha, so you can say hi to her anytime. And the Wealth Co team's here too. Jess is here and Antonia's here. So if you have any questions or need anything, let us know. Without further ado, again, we're so excited to be here with Ayesha. She has created something really special with her Coffee and a Good Vibe platform, and we hope this is the first of many.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susie. Hello, everyone. First off, I just want to say thank you so much for being here today. We are equally as excited and grateful to be hosting this first Coffee and a Good Vibe Hamptons event with Wealthco. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Ayesha Sehra, and I'm the host of Coffee and a Good Vibe, and just very excited. When I started this podcast, it was always my intention to do things like this. It's always been more than a podcast. It's been about bringing people together, connecting abundant humans in a room together that operate with the same mindset, ethos, and vibe, and fostering these amazing connections, conversations, and experiences. So today, I'm joined with such an iconic panel of experts in the health and wellness industry. So we're going to kick off this live podcast edition and sit back, enjoy this amazing live podcast episode. So in typical Coffee and a Good Vibe fashion, we're going to just get comfy and kick it off with you guys. I'm going to pass the mic to each of you, and I would love to get my amazing panel to give a little bit of a background on you, give us a little bit of the intro to the abundant human that you are and the work that you're doing today in this space with your brands. Who wants to go first?
Ladies first, for sure.
Okay, I will go first. My name is Llewellyn. I am the co-founder of Bloom Nutrition, which is a supplement company for women. My co-founder is my husband in the back. Our best-selling product is our greens. I also have a fitness app, and I make wellness and fitness content.
Solid.
All right. Love that.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Hi, my name's Alyssa. I am in the influencer content creation space. I'm from Canada, moved to LA about 6 years ago, and really do focus on wellness. That's where my passion is, but of course share everything from beauty, lifestyle. I'm really stoked to be here.
Awesome. And my name's Dan Churchill. I'm a chef. I have a podcast called The Epic Table, and I every day live to help everyone eat what I call eat like a legend. So that's essentially what we do. I have a restaurant in New York City and a product now that is also helping people eat more plants. So that's I'm a big fan of what Ayesha's doing, and proud to be here as a non-American on a panel of non-Americans doing awesome stuff in America. So stoked to be here.
I know, like find a panel that's like no one adheres from the States. We love it. So I want to start it off with a big question. And you guys have all been pioneers in the wellness industry in your own respective ways. And we have such a diverse array of business offerings on this panel, from Mari with her own app and nutrition company, and Dan with his plant-based restaurant concept and products. And I would love to start there with directing this first question at you both on how you guys are approaching brand and product innovation within your ventures, and more importantly, going into how you guys are continuing to differentiate yourself amongst others in your space.
Okay, so our brand is unique in that it was built on my own fitness journey. I lost 90 pounds in 2017, and I began posting about my story. That was really where our app was born. We sold PDF workout guides for $5 each. I didn't even have a website. I would manually email it to people. Myself and my husband would just spend all day sending it, and that eventually evolved into an app. And then in 2018, we decided to launch Bloom Nutrition based on the fact that I found it challenging to find supplements that worked for me. I was a female beginner to fitness, and I would walk into a GNC and just be like, what is this stuff? Like black, red, yellow marketing, very intimidating. I would come home with supplements and Greg was like, you're not taking that. That's full of caffeine. And I'm an anxious person anyway. So we wanted to create a natural pre-workout that also tasted amazing and was easy to incorporate into my lifestyle. And I really brought my social media community along with me. They helped me decide the label colors, they helped me decide the flavors they wanted to see. So they were involved from the beginning. And I think what differentiates us in the supplement industry is that there's a face to the brand and a story that they could relate to. So it's not, many supplement companies are ran by men. We don't know who they are. They don't have a story. And I think women buying from us can relate to me in some way. And that has been huge for our branding in general.
Love that.
Can I say it's actually really inspiring to actually watch your journey. It really is. It's genuine, relatable, and so it makes your product trustworthy because what you and your husband have done to create is so awesome. And I think that's what we all look for when it comes to creating products. Is it's not good. It can't be an inauthentic story. It's got to be truthful because the audience that are purchasing are people who either follow you or are big into the relationship of what that product is providing. So when I started, I work with athletes one-on-one, one-on-many, and I work with everyday individuals as well on how to improve their performance through food. And I guarantee the biggest point of difference is not to be plant-based, not to be keto. It's just honestly to eat more plants. It's the most important differentiator. And so at the restaurant, when we were coming up with these products, it was not like, I'm going to make a product. I was like, actually, I'm just going to make a dish that's tasty. Because at the end of the day, something's got to be tasty. And it just so happens having a restaurant's a great way to understand if something's, working. Because you'll know, because it's not being sold again. But effectively, we created this product and we had everybody who eats meat, is barbecue fans, would come in, eat this thing, not knowing it's plant-based. And that's the journey started for us with that. And the big core value to us in our industry is there's a lot of products out there in the plant-based category, frozen, shelf stable, whatever it is, and they're not made. They're almost like they're not meat as opposed to being plant-based. Because in my eyes, plant-based means it's actually made from real ingredients. If you pick up our product, you'll be able to pronounce every single ingredient on our product. Cauliflower, mushrooms. Oh, and by the way, the mushrooms are super sexy. They're like Chilean. They call these Chilean bass mushrooms. When I get a new ingredient that hits my way, I get excited by it as a chef. It's pretty cool. So anyway, so my point is our point of difference and what helps us build our brand and answer your question, Ayesha, it's all about really being truthful to your story, selling that, and then ultimately our big point of difference is we want it to taste great because that's how you repeat customers. And number two is it's made entirely out of real ingredients. And I think that's why you have a point of difference in your product line.
I love that. No, that's so empowering. And I want to flip it over onto Alyssa now, because Alyssa, you've been an OG influencer in the space for so long, and literally since I think the term influencer became a term, and specifically in the wellness niche. So wanting to get the other side, I want to hear from you maybe what makes it super enticing as an influencer that you're seeing from brands to want to work with them. What are you seeing brands doing that makes it very attractive?
Yeah. Well, this is a good timing to ask me that question, because it's genuinely with founders who are so passionate and like truly live and breathe their product or their brand. I think that's the most kind of fulfilling thing for me, is just like, I think you get to a point where you are in this space and the question comes about like, oh, are you going to create your own thing? Like, or when is it going to be? And I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but for me, like what I get off on is seeing this, is like me being able to support in any way of someone else's kind of like baby coming to life. And I think that that's the most attractive thing, when, especially when they're kind of getting the opinions and whatnot from their audience or from other people in the content creating space of like, what do you think would make this look sexy? I think that that's just super beneficial. It's kind of being immersed in the growth of a company and being able to like watch it grow and being a part of that.
That's such a good answer. It's like you knew where I was going next too, because I want to go all in on community, because all of you guys have done a tremendous job at building community. And we all know community is key. It's key to conversions. When you have a ride or die community, you can further serve their needs with more products and more innovation. So would love to hear from each of you guys, if you guys can share your best tips of how you guys are growing community in the landscape of social media today, and how you're continuing to nurture and stay top of mind amongst your community, but grow a new one as well, like continue to grow it.
Very interesting question. It's something that I think about a lot, because obviously as a human, I'm always evolving and trying new things, but I want to keep my content true to what my community wants to see. So it is a little bit of experimenting. Like sometimes I'll put something out and I'm not really sure how they're going to respond, and either they hate it or they love it. But at the same time, I think if I love it, that's all that matters, because that's going to show. Especially in podcasting, I feel like keeping it very genuine and candid is so crucial. And also just sharing the imperfect moments. I feel like my community was really built on me sharing my struggles. Even if something went wrong in our business at the beginning, I would share that, and they were a part of the mistake. Or they were a part of me and Greg spending all of Christmas Day sending emails to people because we sold the wrong size of something. Like, they were there through it all. And I think bringing them along and showing them that you're a human too, and they can relate to you in that way, there's just like this connection that is so much stronger than just showing this beautiful highlight reel of your life.
Love that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to, I love the genuity again. It's crazy. For me, it's planning is really important, and forecasting what you think it would be. So, for example, my team and I, we have different buckets, and what we look at is podcast. You've got newsletter. You've got maybe a topic, and your topic will feed down into your respective different areas of short form versus long form. And then the question is it retention or is it acquisition? So, are you trying to retain your community, or are you trying to acquire more community members? And some of those key elements can be both. A lot of short form content is a lot about acquiring, right? Because you're getting people through feed, Explorer pages, TikTok, etc. But then things like podcasts and your website and all those kind of things are a great way to retain and make them feel part of a community. And I think they're really important to do both. So what we do is we look at, okay, what's our topic? How are we going to acquire? How are we going to retain? And then we set a path for it. So it's important for us to do that over a course, and I'm sure these girls are way better than me, but creating a content plan well ahead of time does help, so that you can just set and forget, as opposed to being there on a Thursday at whatever time is your ideal time to post, and you're stressing about this thing that's called social media. But I think it's really important to plan, understand what is acquisition, what is retention, and personally for me, we've done this little thing called Game Day Meal Series. And it's just doing a collaboration with someone about what they're eating on their day of, not training per se or whatever it is, but it's been huge for us because it's acquired other people's audience as well in a really fun, engaging way that's true to our content.
Yeah. Do you, just a side note on that, do you do the collaborator post on Instagram with those people?
Correct. So
like new tools.
It's so good. Honestly, it really does.
So you get both
Opens your world.
audiences.
You get both audiences. And also, I feel it plays to my strengths being a chef, but in the kitchen, you get to see another side of that person they usually typically show, right? So their audience then sees them in a really different light, but a fun way. And it's like, oh, this is really cool, like another side of them I haven't seen. So it adds value to each person in a really cool way.
Totally love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think these two said it pretty spot on. I think there's, it's important to evolve with, as you said, I've been in the social media space since like 2016, and things have definitely changed, especially in like the last even just couple months. I feel like things are changing. And so it's like super important, I think, to be open-minded and to evolve with the trends and the changes and the transitions, but while staying true to yourself. So there's like a fine line between that. For example, I remember when the pandemic hit and TikTok was a very big trending thing, and the dances, that's all I knew TikTok to be, was the dances. And I was a little judgmental at first, like I'm throwing myself under the bus here, but like I was judgmental. I was like, I can't do that. And I didn't jump on it, and I wish I did. I do now, but I wish I did sooner, because it didn't mean I had to just be doing that one thing. Sometimes you got to be like, I can do this, but I can add my own flavor to it, if that makes sense.
How are those dance moves, just out of curiosity?
I still haven't participated in the dance trends, but luckily, I've found the new trends. My For You page is helping me with things that are a little more on brand for me.
It's just always concerning, just make sure you're all on that track. I will say, one of the funniest things I do enjoy is walking around New York City and then seeing two people dance to something, looking at something, and I can't see what that is. And then I walk past and there's a little screen set up and they're having some fun TikTok dancing. I'm like, good for you, man. That's awesome.
I love how mainstream it is now, like especially in LA. I'm just like, cool. But moving on to my favorite topic. This is habits and routines. This is a health and wellness panel, so I know you guys have crazy in-depth routines, and lucky for you guys, like each of these panelists have been on Coffee and a Good Vibe in solo podcast episodes. So we have their full-on morning routines, evening routines, all of it. But I would love to get from you guys, because habits and routines are everything, right? The things that you do daily shape your reality and the results you get. So if each of you guys could share the one habit and routine, or just habit, that you've implemented that's had the most profound effect, been the biggest game changer in your life since you've implemented it, what is that habit?
For me, mornings are so crucial. I would say upon waking up, I really try to not touch my phone. The second you touch your phone, there's people texting you, there's emails. You're never going to touch your phone and be like, joy,
especially on the West Coast.
3
hours.
Like you're signing up for notifications and flashes, and you're suddenly on someone else's schedule instead of your own. And I think waking up, getting outside, getting some movement in, and prioritizing myself is the best thing that I've done. But interestingly, I'm so into routine, and I'm definitely like a creature of habit. Like I rely on my routine. Even coming here for this event, I bring all my supplements, all my little things, because I need to have that routine in place to feel my best. But lately I've been working on adding a little bit of flexibility, because I think it is possible to get too reliant on your routine and too stuck. And you forget to keep an open mind with things. So like trying new workouts, trying new things is okay too. I think just checking the buckets of movement, getting outside, and something for me, as long as it's within that realm, I'm happy.
Love that.
Yeah, to your point about like routine, we all have amazing routines. I'm sure we all have our typical ones for us. I actually set up one thing that's helped me is a non-negotiable. So it can be, I'm going to hit a run. I'm going to read 5 pages of a book. And the reason why I've done that is because life has gotten, especially since after the pandemic, when we were in COVID, we were generally constrained to, a year and a half, 2 years of working in one location. So we did get a new routine, but we weren't having outbound distractions. And we weren't moving across a place, and we weren't fortunate to come to places like this. So effectively, I get more frustrated when I don't achieve something I want to do. So I make it more realistic and achievable for me to do something. So I say, okay, well, what's my non-negotiable for tomorrow morning or that day? And as long as I achieve that one thing, that helps me throughout my day to know that I'm doing something for me.
I love that.
Yeah, mine's actually quite similar to Mari's because I do think like a morning routine, and I'm the same way. I mean, my bag here was filled with the supplements and I come prepared. But I will say as well, yeah, having that bit of flexibility, it's almost like if you have that kind of control aspect, a part of your personality, which I definitely do, we can almost start to become a little bit of control freaks when it comes to our routine and all of the things that make us feel good. And I do realize when I let go of control, I make time for opportunities to flow in that maybe wouldn't have if I was so obsessed with that routine. So I think that is super important. And also just like self check-ins, I think is probably like the most important thing, just constantly checking in with myself. It allows for, like I said, the opportunities and just for me to be like in alignment.
That's self-awareness. It's so key. So back on like the trends topic in the wellness space. You know, you guys have all been such pioneers and innovators in the space and creating your own brands and content. And I would love to hear from you guys, like get into your minds a little bit and hear, what do you see trending and up and coming in the wellness space? Any trends in the next 5, 10, 15 years that you are on your radar that you're looking out for, or maybe opportunities and gaps in the market that you're seeing in the wellness space? Maybe someone listening to this podcast is going to get a business idea from this. Would love to just get into your heads here.
Cool. I'll go first and hold the mic this time. I see. I do a lot of research. I read a lot of research. Sorry. And I'm so fascinated by data. I think every year we get more data, more specifics, more information on topics we didn't previously understand. We now have things like Levels, Zoe, all these amazing wearable technologies, continuous glucose monitors, you name it. I see the trends on the ability to really take that data and utilize it for the best nutrition for an individual only getting better. Wearable technology such as Whoop, Aura, those things they haven't even touched the surface. Like the fact that we think right now, like the gold standard in sleep is Aura, right? Because of the fact it's close to your finger and the capillaries and stuff. And the Whoop is great for across other things, but they're only going to get better. And it's crazy that at this level, we're seeing this, like we can record we have. So I see a massive trend that way. And particularly in food, I see there's going to be a huge way that we can connect all these pieces of technology to understand what's good for you.
I would say I'm just so grateful to see wellness continuing to like get sexier and sexier. I feel like years ago, it wasn't very cool. And now it is. And all of these brands that, the ones that you were just saying as well.
They're cool to wear that Aura ring when you're out.
Yeah. Like it's nothing. It's something to be proud of, to like be.
I look after my sleep.
Right. Yeah. It's something to be proud of, whether it's, you just talking about your morning routine or being the founder of a new wellness brand. So I think that is one of the most exciting things right now. Yeah.
Just to add to that, I think the whole podcasting space, I don't have a podcast yet.
Yes. She dropped it here first.
It's coming. But I'm just so inspired by it because I feel like we get to listen to these like world-renowned scientists that we would have never had the opportunity to have a conversation with, and I'm learning so much. Like I have my Aura ring on, I'm checking my sleep every day, I'm learning about minerals. I didn't know how important sunlight was, like just all these little things you can do to optimize your health. And it's so cool that this information is accessible to everyone. Like it's not just a certain tax bracket. Anyone can listen to these podcasts and really benefit their lives. And I think that's so exciting. But also I think in the content space, maybe sharing more about the flexibility that we were talking about. I think it can be really tough as a wellness influencer. You kind of get boxed in a little bit and people expect intense fitness content from you all the time. But sharing that flexibility, I think, is really helpful for people. And it's something that I definitely want to focus on moving forward.
I love that. Within that question, so what are you guys, could you share maybe what's in the pipeline within your personal brands, your ventures? Because I know these types of things, like you have things in the pipeline, but you can't share through like contracts and agreements. But if you can you share like any upcoming launches, anything going on behind the scenes that you guys are specifically working on?
At Bloom Nutrition, obviously our greens, I don't know if you guys have seen them. They're all over TikTok. Girls love them. And the one thing we don't have is a travel size. So our next product is going to be a travel size little greens stick pack, which will be great. We have our first pop-up event in August, and I'm working on the podcast. So that's...
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. When's this coming out, Ayesha?
In like a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay. I'll tell you offline. Next year's really exciting. We've got on the Charley Street CPG side, we've got some awesome products coming out alongside our chorizo and bolognese. Personally, I'm a bolognese guy. Could be my Italian heritage, but they're both kind of 50-50 split based on audience voting. But yeah, we've got 2 new SKUs of that coming out next year. I've got some really exciting restaurant openings, which will be really, really cool. And then on the content side, we've got a pretty awesome series coming out back end of next year. And then a piece of literature that I cannot be too more discreet about that'll be launched next year as well. So,
wow. Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah, for me, what I really want to focus on right now is just kind of like I said in the beginning, really being immersed within the brand's growth. And when I am doing these so-called brand deals, make it a lot more than just that. I would love to consult, advise, and be a part of like the influencer strategies, plan events, and yeah, just be involved within the whole kind of experience of watching these brands, platforms, and products grow.
Love that. And clearly that's the direction a lot of brands are going. It's so much more than just the product. It's the events, it's the experiences. So I love that. Because this is a panel, we always close our panel episodes with just like a fun bonus, just to end it on a high, and it's something easy. And because we're about to eat a beautiful brunch, I was thinking something around food. So we're all about energy on this podcast, right? The energy you show up to life with is everything you're going to get back. So would love to ask each of you guys, if there's one food, it could be a drink too, that you would have that you have in the morning when you have a big day ahead. Could be a big workout, a big event, something you need to show up your best and have your best energy. What would that food, that drink be? Could be anything. I'll go first to let you think of something, but mine is definitely like a really nice iced latte with house-made nut milk from my favorite cafe. You're laughing because you know it's true. I'm all about coffee and a good vibe. So if I start my day with coffee and a good vibe, it's like a ritual around it. I know I'm going to have a great day, going to have the best energy. That's mine.
Mine would be Bloom greens and bolognese. and bolognese with the
Alyssa, this is so unexpected.
Exactly. But I will say I have yet to try the bolognese, but I really am excited. But I really am obsessed with the greens. I truly, when I do take it, when I do remember, and it needs to become more ingrained in my head, feel amazing. I'm trying to do that before coffee now because I was very reliant and would wake up and do coffee right away. So I'm trying to do that. So greens and then coffee and a healthy cookie.
Love her healthy cookie recommendations.
And I have to say, Alyssa makes such beautiful content. She is like the best influencer.
I get all my food recos from her.
Yes, I get all my snacks ideas from Alyssa, and she just makes beautiful content. Obviously, I have to say my greens as well. It's amazing for digestion and bloating. Other than that, I love chia pudding with berries and almond butter. I love healthy fats. I think I'm like a fats gal. Like I just feel my best when I have a lot of fats. So chia pudding for me.
Yeah, I love a good chia pudding.
But I need to try your restaurant too.
Yeah, so this dish on the menu came out just because it's something I had every single day for 15 years.
Wow.
It is my PB&J oatmeal. So we've got a beautiful cinnamon maple base, homemade house PB, literally just PB roasted, blended until it's nice and like creamy. Then we've got this, we change our jam, but right now it's a raspberry jam. So it's just all it is raspberries in a pot, reduced down because raspberries have natural pectin, so they get jammy in themselves. Toasted walnuts, little squeeze of maple on top. And it comes with a smile, so it's a pretty good recce to start your day.
Where's the location? Where's Charley Street
So if you guys
located?
are in New York City, come check us out, Charley Street down in Nolita. Specifically, it's 41 Kenmare Street, but just you can look it up on Instagram, Google Maps, all those things we now have technology for. So we're good.
That sounds way better than
Do they Postmates here?
Yeah.
I love this. Well, guys, that concludes our live podcast panel. First off, I just want to thank my amazing panel for coming out here. Mari and Alyssa flew in from LA. Dan definitely came a trek over out to the Hamptons. So we are so grateful. And we are not only like this episode will be posted on Coffee and a Good Vibe, but all their solo episodes where you can just hear them for an hour behind the mic. All of them are on Coffee and a Good Vibe. So on every podcasting platform, we're there. So make sure you're subscribed. And on that note, I'm going to, where's Susie? I'm going to pass the mic back over to Susie because we have a little brunch, beautiful brunch plan. I don't know if there's chia pudding, but there's going to be other things.
Thank you so much, and thank all of you for being here. And take a minute. We'll wrap up and grab yourself a coffee, a juice, a water, whatever you'd like. And then we'll just head outside for brunch. There's menus on the table, but brunch is family style, so to make it easy, and you can have whatever you'd like. So thanks again, guys, for being here. And thank you, Ayesha, for everything.